Here with us now, Nikki Haley, winner of the South Carolina Republican runoff for nomination for governor. Nikki, congratulations. It definitely has been a long road.
It has been a long road. When we were down at the debate, everybody was whispering, oh, you know, Mark Sanford's for her. And if Mark Sanford's for her. And then of course, that obviously didn't hurt. And of course, Jenny supported you as well. But the ugliness, I've got to say, the ugliness surprised me. I'm surprised by the stories that came out and how the press just immediately followed these unsubstantiated rumors. Were you surprised by what you found yourself in the middle of?
You know, it was interesting because as we started to get the message out about a conservative movement, as we started getting the message about returning the power to the people, we got a surprise shock in the fact that we rose in the poll numbers by double digits. And so not only did it surprise our opponents, it surprised us. And at that point, we celebrated for all of 2 minutes, and then we realized, uh-oh, this is going to hurt. And before we knew it, 4 weeks before the election, they literally threw the kitchen sink at us. But what I'm so thrilled about is that the people of South Carolina rose above it. They said this is about the economy, this is about jobs, and they just said they did not want any of the negative politics, and they totally discounted it. I'm very proud of them.
It seems like most of the kitchen sinks that were thrown at you had a Republican elephant on them. I mean, you not only had to fight the Democrats, you had to fight the Republican Party establishment. Why is that?
Well, you know, I think that we have to see, not just in South Carolina, but across this country, we've seen a lot of Republicans who've learned the talking points but haven't learned the conservative actions associated with those talking points. This is about returning government back to the people. This is about holding elected officials accountable and making them remember who it is that they work for. When you push on the establishment, it's going to push back. But our goal at the end of the day is that the people win.
The concern was that Mark Sanford was very confrontational with the Republican House and the Republican Senate. He famously carried pigs into the chamber and let them loose, saying that the Republicans were pork barrel spenders. Real concerned that you're going to be as confrontational as Mark Sanford was with the Republican establishment. If that's the case, you think that actually helped you?
You know, I mean, I think that people try and compare and make contrasts just to cause conversation. The truth is, yes, I'm going to talk about accountable government. Yes, I'm going to talk about the fact that they need to understand it's not government's money they're spending, it's the people's money. And yes, I'm going to talk about transparency and accountability and creating jobs in the state. But I'm going to do that through communication. You know, I've been in the legislature long enough to know what the problems are, so they can't pull one over on me, but not so long to be part of the fraternity party. It's that, and also learning from the challenges of Governor Sanford, that I'm going to use to govern so that the people feel real action in the first year.
All right, so I'm wondering, because we last time we saw you, you were obviously taking part in the debate, 3 other guys and you, and I'm wondering what happened inside your campaign when people started throwing around these ridiculous rumors, which I won't repeat, but they were really ugly. How did you keep your head about yourself? How did you strategize as a leader of the campaign? And what did your advisors say to you? What was the conversation like when this stuff was thrown at you?
You know, it really was. I don't think you're ever prepared for that. We certainly were not prepared for it. It's hard to fight something that's just not true. And so we were sitting there trying to figure out how to do it. But what I knew at the end of the day, and what my husband also said at the end of the day, was we were not going to get distracted. All it did was make me more determined. All it did was make me more just adamant that we had to turn around and make sure that this message stayed on track and that they were not going to distract us. So the more they tried to distract us, the more we stayed on message, and it worked, and the people appreciated it, and they respond not only on the 8th, they responded again last night.
You know, and then, of course, Willie, there were the racist comments as well, coming again from like a Republican legislator.
She weathered all those. Ms. Haley, it's Willie Geist. Congratulations on your win last night. I'm curious to hear what impact you think Sarah Palin had, because we've heard various reviews of what kind of weight an endorsement from her carries. How much effect did she have on your win?
You know, it was interesting because when we started this movement, what we said was we went into rooms and we said, if you like what I have to say, go tell 10 people. And they did, which was an amazing thing. So this grassroots effort movement had already started. Governor Palin has been fabulous at getting people to understand the power of their voice. So when she came to South Carolina, she gave us an amazing boost and a push of credibility that we needed at that time. So it was great timing. It was the fact that we had already started a grassroots movement, and it all just came together nicely.
how is your family responding to this victory? I'm sure your husband's happy. You have kids, right?
I do. They're 8 and 12, and you know, I'm still very much just mom to them, which I love. And so this is, you know, they see some cameras, but they're very unaffected by it. My husband has been amazing. He's the one that in those last few weeks of the campaign, he said, turn the TV off, quit reading the newspaper, and let's stay focused. And so that's what we've done. I don't think it's really hit us yet. We were thinking last night, oh my gosh, did this really happen, coming from 4th place to seeing that we actually got through the runoff. So I think that today it'll hit us and we'll start having some fun.
South Carolina has been unfairly maligned through the years, I think unfairly, and yet last night elected an Indian American is a Republican nominee and an African American in a race against Strom Thurmond's son and Carol Campbell's son. Is this the new South Carolina?
You know what this is? This is the start of the movement across the country. This is a South Carolina where they confirm the goodness of people, where they confirm the fact that it is understanding the value of a dollar, that it is turning around and taking their government back, and that it is turning around and making sure that we're not going to be associated with labels. We're going to be associated with good policy. And, you know, I think the people of South Carolina spoke loud and clear in that congressional race as well as in this gubernatorial race. And I think the country's going to realize we've got great people here that make great decisions that are going to lead this movement of returning government back to the people.
Nikki Haley, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you. We're going to head down to South Carolina soon. We'll see you there.
We will welcome you then. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.